Hello everyone, I just want to take a moment to speak to all of you in Brisbane, southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales as Cyclone Alfred approaches. We know that many of you are preparing, uncertain about what's ahead. I've heard from people who are feeling very real and understandable worry and concern about what is to come because they've never faced or experienced anything like this. First, I want to remind you, God is with you. No storm, no challenge, no crisis ever happens outside of His presence. It says in Psalm 46, God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. That means no matter what happens, we are never alone. Even when we feel uncertain, even when we feel frightened, even when the winds rise and the waters surge, God remains steady. As Christian people, we believe in a God who enters into our struggles with us. Jesus himself experienced storms, both physical and spiritual. The disciples were caught in a violent storm once. The waves crashed into their boat and they were terrified. But what did Jesus do? He stood up and he rebuked the wind and said to the sea, "Peace, be still." And the wind ceased and there was a great calm. But he wasn't speaking just to the storm. He was speaking to the winds of fear, of uncertainty, of anxiety in the disciples. He said to them, "Peace, be still." Now, does that mean every storm in life will instantly disappear? No. It doesn't mean that pain and hardship will not be part of our lives. But it means we can trust that Jesus is in the boat with us. He's present. He's watching over us. And He has the power to bring peace in the middle of chaos. The church, that's the people who believe, has always taught that faith isn't something we believe, it's something that we live. In the book of James it says, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. That's why in times like these, we just don't pray, we prepare. We care for one another and we act wisely. If you've been advised to stay indoors, take it seriously. Protect yourself and your loved ones. If you know someone vulnerable, an elderly neighbour, a single parent, someone without resources, check on them, be Christ to them in their need. Maybe it will be the first time you ever knocked on their door. If you're feeling anxious, turn to prayer. Paul writes to the Philippians and he says this, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." We are not meant to go through life alone, and we are especially not meant to go through storms alone. Jesus calls us to love our neighbour, to be people who see a need and step in to help. In Galatians it says, "Carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ." What's this means? I repeat, check in on those around you. If you have a friend, neighbour or family member who may be alone, call them, visit them, make sure they have what they need. If you have extra, share it. If you have food, water or supplies and something else is needed at a time when it's needed, be generous. Don't be the person who hoards up and takes extra so that others do not have and are deprived of what is necessary because you are scared. In times like these, we are called to look out for each other, not just ourselves. Generosity is not just an act of kindness, it is a reflection of God's love. Encourage those who are struggling. Some people right now are feeling very overwhelmed, very frightened, very anxious right now. A simple text, a phone call, a prayer with them can make a difference. Help others even if they are different from you, even if they hold different values, live a different way of life, follow a different faith or religion, or have no belief in God at all. They are people we believe who are loved by God, deserving of care and concern. Jesus tells us in Matthew chapter 25 that when we feed the hungry, give drink to the thirsty and care for those in distress, we are doing it for Him. This is a time for us to be the hands and the feet of Jesus to those around us. To all of you who follow or are part of the Catholic Guy Ministry and the Impact as Faith community of the Catholic Guy Ministry, this is where we live out what we believe. This is the same call to all people of faith of any background. This is a time to put our faith into action, to stand firm in what we believe and to bring hope, peace, and help those in need. We don't just talk about faith, we walk it out with our hands, what we do. This is a time to serve, to care, to do something practical to help those in need. Let your actions shine. This is a time with your feet to deliberately go to those in need. This is a moment to go where you can help, whether that means reaching out to someone who's afraid and scared or simply being present for those around you right now. This is a time with our voice to speak comfort and encouragement. People are looking for hope right now. Be ready to remind them of the peace that only God can bring. Speak words of encouragement, not fear. So as Cyclone Alfred approaches, let's do 3 things. Pray with faith. Ask for God's protection, not just for yourself, but for your family and neighbours and your city and the area where you live. Act with wisdom. Take the necessary steps to stay safe and help others. Live with hope. This storm will pass, but God's faithfulness will remain. And I want to leave you with this powerful promise from the book of Isaiah. It says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous hand." So take heart, stand strong. You are not alone. God is your shelter, your rock and your strength. When the winds rage and the rains fall, remember God has not abandoned you. He's with you in the storm, holding you, guiding you and carrying you forward. You have the strength within you to endure, to overcome and to rise again. You are not alone. God is with you, and know that all of us across the country and from far beyond are praying for you right now. Together we will come through this stronger. If you think this might comfort, encourage someone else or other people, send it to them. Now stay safe. Look out for one another and trust in God. God bless you. And don't forget, wherever you are, God is never far from you.